Hello, I'm it's Jay Brian. We're talking about 14.2 Instructing PA and exercise, and we've been asked to create a 6-week plan for a sporting individual and basically analyze how they are doing throughout the 6 weeks. The first thing we have to do is do a consultation with them. So we sat down, we talked about different things like their lifestyle. I basically filled out a part Q, a lifestyle questionnaire. This would help me to design the program appropriately for this individual, so I know how many hours they have free. Stuff like illnesses that may affect their training. It's just a precautionary measure taken to ensure that the training we're doing is safe and it won't affect them in their life at the moment. So from this part Q and lifestyle questionnaire, I got this information. The consultant, the name of the individual was William Rowe. He's age 16, is a college student, and he also told me he drinks occasionally at parties and stuff. He plays squash on an intermediate level, and he goes to the gym twice a week at the moment. But he said, although he's obviously quite an active individual, he said he still feels drops of energy during the day, and this could be caused by hydration and eating habits. He said that he eats well. From what I got from the consultation, I realized that he has a generally quite balanced diet, but he skips meals occasionally, as he said. In the consultation, we made short-term targets and long-term targets. The short-term targets were over the course of 3 weeks, and the long-term were 6 weeks. Some of the targets we came up with were to improve his muscular endurance and agility based on feeling tired or not after sessions. Also to gain knowledge using some new techniques and some new training such as whistle fartlek and phosphidin training. And also to improve his Illinois agility test run time by 3 seconds. So we'll be doing that test on the first session of the week in week 1. The long-term targets we set were to improve him coping with whistle fartlek training and finding the lower intensity easier than before, and also improving time for the agility run by 6 seconds, which is double what we agreed to in the short term. Also, by this time, he'll be accustomed to the different types of training that he started at the beginning. And in the meeting, he said to me that he wanted to improve his change in direction and speed, his muscular endurance in the core and lower body, and his speed and agility. So in my 6-week program, I have warm-up and cool downs, and this is basically what we talk about. This happens at the beginning and end of every session, or most of the sessions. The dynamic warm-up is made up of a light jog at moderate pace for 30 seconds. Also high knees and heel sits, which are 15 seconds each. Kicks and toe touches, 15 seconds each. This is while walking, preferably on a half court or maybe a basketball court. Walking lunges and squats are 30 seconds each. Skips, which is where you take 1 or 2 steps, you jump and you clench one knee towards the chest for 15 seconds. At the end of every session, you're expected to do a cool down, and the cool downs we'll be using is a slow pace jog for 1 minute, light static stretching, which could be groin stretches, and the thigh area or even calf, for about 3 minutes, and using the foam roll on the quadriceps, mainly the calves and the hamstring, also 1 minute for each muscle group. Now, moving on to the actual exercise program itself, I have incorporated what his normal timetable would look like and kind of refurbished it and added a couple of things to it throughout the weeks that they progress generally, and it will help him in his squash. So basically, on the first day of our actual training will be Wednesday. He would have Monday as a rest day and his squash session on Tuesday as normal. And then we'd have On a Wednesday, he have his squash session, and after his squash session, we would have warm up with legs on stationary cycle. So this is going to be done on every Wednesday for this week, the third week, and the sixth week. They have this on a Wednesday where he'll warm up his legs with a stationary cycle, then do the Illinois test. These results will be recorded for analysis and further on in the exercise program. So on Thursday now, in the afternoon, he'll have his squash session as normal, gym session on Friday, and Saturday he'll have squash in the morning and then gym in the afternoon. He'll do a dynamic warm up as we saw in the slide before, and a phosphagen warm up where he will have to run, and then when I blow the whistle, he'll go to his maximal effort for about 15 seconds and then stop. I'll also introduce him to the whistle fartlet training, which is cycling, which is quite similar, but in the same concept of the phosphagen, where you cycle for 15 seconds at maximum effort and then you relax for 30 seconds. In week 2, the player will be expected to have a similar timetable. So he would rest on Monday, do the squash session on Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. Then he'll do on Wednesday he'll have his squash session in the afternoon, and straight after he'll come to my session at the gym, where we'll start a dynamic warm up, as we saw in the other slide. He'll do the extra for the first time, which is where you have the cones in the shape of a formation with X. 5 reps for 30 seconds resting between each rep. And this extra in particular will help him with his movement on the squash court to change in direction. And if he's going at maximal effort, it will help him increase his speed as well, which is very necessary when playing squash. He'll also do the dot drill, which is moving from side to side in the lateral forward jumping motion. It would be dots in the formation of a dice, and he'll basically have to jump from each dot, which can help him with his leaping, his reflexes and leaping ability. Also his shuttle run, at the end of the session he'll have a light shuttle run to cool down. He'll do this 3 times. This is just to get the blood to circulate to all the muscles groups, to prevent pre-onset muscle soreness. Delayed onset muscle soreness. Basically, for this session, between each exercise, you will only rest for 2 minutes this time, whereas in week 1, you rested for 3 minutes. This is to increase the intensity of the warm-up and to allow time for more exercises to be done in a shorter time. On Thursday, he'll do the same squash session, and similarly on Friday, he's expected to do as he would normally do, put as much effort as he would normally do. And then on Saturday, he'll come to a 220 session with me, where he'll do a dynamic warm-up as normal, the whistle fartlet pyramid technique. So he'll have to cycle for 15 seconds for 15 seconds with 30 seconds rest for 4 minutes, and then have a rest for 2 minutes, and then he'll do it for 3 minutes, and so on until he gets to 1. Now we're only doing 4 to 1 this time, because the whole point of the pyramid technique is it goes from 4 minutes to 3 minutes to 2 minutes to 1 minute, then it goes back up to 4 minutes. But because he's not used to this kind of exercise yet, we've not given him the whole pyramid technique to do. On week 3, after his Wednesday on Sunday in week 2, he'll have the same Wednesday session, and because it's week 3, he'll have to redo the Illinois test, and he'll warm up exactly the same way he did in week 1, so that the test is fair. He'll have the session the day before, so that the test is fair. This is to test and see if his agility has improved in any way over the 3 weeks, and by this time he should have improved by 3 seconds, hopefully, as we agreed as a set target at the consultation. Also, He'll have his Thursday and Friday session as normal. And Saturday from 2 to 2:20, he'll have his a slightly easier session where he only does a dynamic warm up, X drill, and spot calling drill. The spot calling drill is a new drill to him. It's called ghosting in squash, where the player stands on the court. I call different areas of the court, and he has to run, simulate a shot, and then get back to the middle, as he would have to do in a squash game. This would help him with his reflexes and his movement around the court, changing direction and speed. So with the X drill. In week 4, the rest time has been reduced to 1 minute between each exercise. And so the intensity has gone up a whole lot. It's only 1 minute, 60 seconds of rest in between each exercise. And on Wednesday, he'll have his gym from 6 to 6:30, an extra 10 minutes added onto the session, where he'll have a dynamic warm up, a ladder drill, an NITY cone drill, which is where the cones are set out in a formation of an M, and he has to run in a formation of any of those 5 letters I call out. So if I say M, for example, you have to run in an M shape. If I say N, he has to run in an N shape. It gets him thinking, gets his mind stimulated. His reflexes will have to be improved as well, because he'll have to think a lot faster than he normally would have to do. He'll also have to do the phosphagen cycle drill, as we did in previous weeks. Remember that there's only 1 minute rest between each exercise because he's progressing and it's to improve the intensity. On Saturday, he'll have to do a dynamic warm up with support leg training and the completed version this time, so from 4 minutes to 1 minute, and from 1 minute to 4 minutes, with 30-second rest in between each section. Moving on to week 5, same, a 1 minute rest between each exercise. There's more exercises involved in this week. He'll warm up for 5 minutes, do the ladder drill for 1 minute, on and 1 minute rest for 5 minutes. So he'll have to do the ladder drill 5 times. And he'll have 1 minute rest in between each time he does it. Also the spot calling drill for 5 minutes, the phosphagen cycle drill for 30 seconds, rest in between each drill for 5 minutes. So each drill this time is 5 minutes long with 1 minute rest in between each exercise. On Saturday, he'll have to do a dynamic warm up, the X drill with 5 reps and 3 sets with 30 seconds rest in between sets, and the spot calling drill. By this time, he should be used to it, and he should know it will improve his squash performance because of his change in direction and having to think a lot faster than he normally would, and he would rest on the Sunday. The final week is a lot more intense because there's only 30 seconds rest between each exercise. This would help the session to increase its intensity a whole lot. And on Wednesday, he'll be expected to warm up the stationary cycle, and because it's the last week, he'll have to do the agility run test again. This time he should improve by 6 seconds as being agreed. And also after this, he said this is different now from all the other weeks. We have this run test. He'll have exercises still after he's done his test. So he'll have to do the X drill, 5 reps with 15 seconds rest, the dot drill, light shuttle run, to improve all of this. So he'll do, all these drills he would have learned by now. He'll have to do the X drill for 5 reps, dot drill, light shuttle run to cool down for 3 sets. And it's only 30 seconds rest in between each exercise. On Saturday, he'll be expected to do a dynamic warm up for 5 minutes, X drill for 5 reps for 3 sets with 30 seconds rest in between sets, the spot rolling drill for 5 minutes, phosphagen cycle drill for 30 seconds rest between each drill for 5 minutes. As I said, he knows what these are for by now. He knows that they improve his squash performance. And if he carries them out correctly, he should have improved his test a whole lot. In the next video, we'll be looking at filming. He is a client now that's not connected to sport in any way, but he was willing to start again. So that'll be my 14.2.2 video. Thanks for listening, guys.